Okay, so we are back here now. So I was talking about, so what, let me recap that we have talked about, the very, very fundamental thing about Java is that Java it's a virtual machine. It is capable of understanding the bytecode that is written in a .class file, and the entry point to Java virtual machine, the starting point of Java virtual machine would be a class that contains public static void main. And I have written, just, to recap, I'll say Demo.java. This is the class file. You can see this .java file that I have written. I've got public static void main. This is the signature of the function. What do you mean by signature of the function? Any function, what is the modifier of that function? Don't worry about these jargons. When I say modifier, whether it is a public, private, protected, what is the kind of function that I have? Then what is the type of that function? Is it a static function, or it is an object-based function? Then I've got void over here, right? And then what does void mean? It does not return any value. What does mean? Main is actually the name of the function. What is string arguments? This is actually the parameters, the arguments that are passed to this function. And then this is the open brace bracket. This is the closing brace bracket. This demarcates the scope of the function. So this is whatever I define here. Okay, whatever I write here is local to this function. I repeat, whatever I define here is local to the function. If I say int I is equal to 25, this variable I is local to the function. That's all. Make note of all the terms and terminologies that I'm using. Whenever I talk about anything, I'm very particular about making the right statement, using the right set of words so that the message is conveyed across, in the best possible way. So take a look. Very technical terms. This is a local variable. Why? Because I can very well have the other variables declared over here which are not local, which won't be a local variable. That variable will be specific to the class and an object of a class, or maybe a static variable. Don't worry about all that, but still, as of now, understand what the function is. This is the main function. This is the local variable. And my point here is that I have written system.out.println, and that's it. It's done, right? Usually in your real life, do you think you would have only and only one, a function as simple as this in your Java application? No. And do you think you will have only and only, once again, Java C, and I'll say Demo.java. Okay. Here you are, it compiles successfully. You can see I've got a .class file here. Okay. And I'd say Java space demo. See, it executes. As you have seen the code and you see this over here, it gets executed. Now, my point here is this. Do you think in your real life applications you will have only and only one single class? Needless to say, no, absolutely. I mean, it goes without saying that you will have hundreds and hundreds of classes that will make up your Java application. Okay, then how are those classes all put together become one application? What happens is that this is very interesting. I've got Demo.java, Demo.java class create. Now see this. I will say vi and I'll say Customer.java. This is yet another class that I'm creating. I'll say public class customer. As you can see, the name of the class, the name of the class that I define over here, and the name of the file, the primary name of the file is exactly the same. This is the requirement of Java. I cannot name the name of the class as customer, and I cannot, and while I say the name of the file is customers.java with an S, no, it won't work. The name of the primary name of the class and the name of the class that you have given here must exactly be the same. And following are the points you must make note of very quickly. I want each one of you all to make note of this point. The name of the class in Java will always start with an uppercase. I repeat, the name of the class in Java. Now, this is not the requirement of the language, but this is the naming convention. This is the convention. Okay, I repeat, this is the convention. So the name of the class will always start with an uppercase. The name of the variable will always start with a lowercase. Okay, and then the name of the method will also start with a lowercase. It must never ever happen that you define a class with a lowercase. It must never ever happen that you define the name of the variable with an uppercase. Okay, the first character must be lowercase in case of method names, in case of variable names, and the name of the class must be in uppercase. These are the naming conventions. So I'll say now public void. Okay, and I'll say print customer, okay, details, right? This is the name of the function, suppose, and I open and close bracket of the function, and then I write here system dot, okay, I'll write out dot print ln, and in the brackets I'll write, okay, I'll just say customer details. I'm hard coding the value, and I'm saying 101 is the ID. Okay, 101 is the ID, and I'm saying name of the customer is say IVF. This is what I've printed. Don't worry. I mean, it's just In real life, these things will come from the database, but as of now, just simply consider that I have, already fired some statements to get the data from the database. These are the values that I've got, and I'm printing it over here. So see, what is the name of the function here? Print customer details. Okay. Now I save it. Now again, I say Java C and I say customer.java. Okay. Now you see this. How many .java files do I have? I have demo.java. I have got customer.java. And since I have compiled them both, I have got customer.class as well as demo.class. Got that? Now with this customer.class, do you think I will be ever able to say java.customer? I cannot. Even if I do this, it will give me an error. See the error that I'm going to get. It says error, main method not found in the class customer. Perfect. Why? Because I do not have public static void main in that particular class at all, which is absolutely fine. As I said earlier, you will have ideally one single class created in your entire application, one single .java created, in which you will have rather, let me put it like this. Out of all of those hundreds of classes that we create in a Java application, any one of them will have public static void main, because that will be the entry point. That will be one single entry point, right? So I have the entry point in Demo.java, which is, the class that I had created earlier. So I'll see vi, I go back to Java. And then you see this over here. What I'm going to do is, uh, you know, before, or rather, let me after, I say system.out.println hello world, and then okay, let me do something like this. Okay, I will say hello world, and here I'll write plus, I'll write, or rather, I'll just say hello world. I'll write JVM started. Okay, this is what I'm writing, and then after that, this is what I'm going to write. You can see this. This is what I'm going to write. I'll say customer. Customer is equal to new customer. Okay, I'm creating a new object of which class? Customer class, the class that I have just created. And you remember there is a function in that class that I created, customer dot print customer details. Okay, this is what I have give. This is the name of that function over there. Please recollect, in that print customer details function, I have written customer details 101 bar and then IBM. Right, that's what is written over there. Now please see this. I say, I save that file. I say once again demo.java. Okay, I compile it. Also, sorry, it must be Java C, correct? I must compile the class first, right? Okay. With Java C, you always compile the class. Now see this, I have got both the classes. I'll say Java space demo. Will I say Java space customer? No, Java space demo. Why? Because that is the entry point to my application. I hit the enter key. Now you see that the statement that I have written in the demo.java class gets executed. Hello world JVM. And then after that, customer details, you can see this 101 IBM, that also gets executed. But this is written in which class? It is written in, this is written in, okay, this very, I've got hello here, JVM, hello world JVM. Where is this written? In demo dot, Java class. Where is customer details 101 IBM written? This is written in the customer class. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'll say VI, and I'll say, customer dot, demo.java, right? See this is the class, and I will open another terminal, and in that another terminal, I'll say cd java hyphen training, and then here I'll open that class vi customer.java. Okay, see this now. These are the two class files that I have. Take a look, right? Two .java files rather, and I have of course compiled them to .class files so that I can execute them, right? See this demo, and from demo you can see this. I created an object of class customer. This is the customer class, and then I say customer.print customer details. What I'm trying to convey to you, not that I'm interested in actually showing you the syntax of the .java file and so on, and then writing functions. I believe writing functions and stuff and all, you'll already know. The point here is that a Java application is made up of n number of classes. I repeat, a Java application is made up of n number of classes, and each one of those classes that are created, they are kind of like, related. When I say related, object of class A will make a call to an object of class B. Object of class B will make a call to object of class C. Object of class C will make a call to an object of class D, and so on. A can also make a call to object of B and D both. So all of these classes, they are kind of interrelated. Object of class A makes a call to an object of class B. That's what the relationship A is making a call to B. class A is dependent on class B, and similarly, you've got hundreds of classes that makes up your entire Java application, and there will be one single class. I repeat, there will be one single class that will do what? That will have what? A public static void main. Okay, that will be the entry point to your Java application, right? That's how it is. Another important point here. Did I use any IDE? Did I use any Spring Tool suite? Did I use Eclipse? Did I use JetBrains or something? No. What does that mean? JetBrains, IntelliJ, and then Eclipse IDE. Then you've got NetBeans as the IDE. All of these code, also Visual Studio Code. This is also an IDE. All of these IDEs stands for what? IDE stands for what? Integrated Development Environment. What is my integrated development environment? It integrates a lot of stuff. It integrates the effort of writing your code. You write your code over there. You do testing of your code over there. You test your code. Then you can, push and pull the code to your, report repository. There are so many other things that you can do over there. You can search for a class. You can search for for a method in the class. There are there are thousands of things that you can do in a good IDE. Correct. But that does not mean your Java programming language, for that matter, is dependent on those IDEs. Absolutely not. See, I did not use any IDE. I have used a plain simple VI editor. On Windows, you could have used a notepad editor. You could have used a text edit editor. You could have used textpad or whatever. It's just that you must have a .java file. You can say ls minus l. This is how you do the listing. As in case of your Windows, you say dir. Here I will say ls listing of the files that are there in that folder. So you see this, friends. I say ls star.java. These are the two .java files that I have, customer.java and demo.java. I have written it with VI editor. As simple as this. So your Java, what is it really dependent on? That Java must be installed on your machine, and that Java installation happens through what? JDK, right? I mean, you install JDK or at least the GRE in order to run, but you all are programmers, you will be writing code, so you will need to install JDK on your machine. Right now, final few points over here. We still have 6 minutes for this meeting. Please understand this point. You will come across the statement that Java is Java is a platform independent programming language. Platform independent is that it works on Mac, it works on Linux, it works on Windows, it works on any Unix based system. So it is independent of the platform. Now the point here is this: the bytecode that is generated, ls star dot, I'll say class. So these are the two dot class files, which are created out of the compilation effort of customer.java and demo.java. So what you write is .java files. What it gets compiled into .class files. These .class files are what? They are platform independent. What it contains is bytecode. That bytecode is universal. Very important, friends. That bytecode is universal. When I say bytecode is universal, it is very much capable of what? It is very much capable of executing on any platform. It executes on Mac. It executes on Java. Windows, Linux, or whatever the operating system is. It is capable of executing on that. Why? Because this bytecode is completely universal. It is not specific to a particular operating system. It is not specific to the operating system. But Java is very much specific to the operating system. When I say Java is, that Java that I've installed on my machine, I've installed that Java on my machine for Mac. When you install Java on your machine, if you have got a Windows machine, you will be installing Java for Windows. So the runtime environment, Java virtual machine, I repeat, the Java virtual machine, which also can be named as a runtime environment. Why? Because your programs actually run in the environment of the virtual machine. So you can also call it JRE, Java runtime environment. Okay. So you've got the Java runtime environment, okay, or Java virtual machine, I may call it. The Java virtual machine is very much dependent on the operating system. The .class files, when you write programs and when you compile them into .class files, those .class files, the program that you have written is universal. So you don't have to write code for Mac and separately write code for Windows and separately write code for Linux. No, you don't have to do that at all. Correct? You don't have to do that. You have to write code once and for all, compile it into a .class file, and then those people who want to run that code on Mac, they will be downloading Java, the virtual machine for Mac. Those who want to run your code on Windows, they will be downloading Java Virtual Machine for Windows and take that same program of yours and run it on their machine. Similarly, is for Linux. Like, see, I'll go to my, I'll just simply say download Java. Now it takes me to Oracle site, or let me take you to Oracle site here. Okay. And now when I say Oracle JDK, if I want to install Oracle JDK, now you see this, it gives me licenses and stuff and all, that's fine. But then please see here, my dear friends, take a look at this. Okay. It doesn't give you one single download. It tells you that this is for Linux, this is the package that you want to download. For Mac installer, this must be the one that you must download, the DMG file. For Windows installer, this is the exe file that you will be downloading. And if you just want to download a zip file and unzip it, then this is what it is. But then again, that is also very much dependent on the operating system. So this is how it is, my dear friends. This is the JVM that you install, the Java that you install on your machine is very much specific to your operating system. But the code that you write, the program that you write in .java files, which you then compile into a .class file, those .class files are universal, not at all dependent on the operating system. It can be executed by the respective virtual machines, virtual machine on Mac, virtual machine on Windows, virtual machine on Linux. Your same bytecode can run on each one of these virtual machines. All right. I hope this point is crystal clear. And I will now we've got just 2 minutes over here, so let me wrap it up. By just few other important points. See, then the basics of the language is this. What have I written over here? What have I written? You see, Java. Sorry, I'll say ls minus l, and I'll say star.java. These are the two .java files I have written, and you can see the construct of these files. When I say any one of them, say demo.java, for example, I have written a class. This is the basic and the very, very fundamental construct or the fundamental structure of your Java application. Class is the most fundamental thing. There cannot be anything more fundamental than this in a Java application, right? So you have to create a class. You must have at least one class that will have public static void main in order to run your application. It's a different thing that you may have a library created with a lot of other class files which someone else will use. That's a different story. But then otherwise, a Java application will definitely have one single class. In the next session, we will be talking about interfaces as well. And then the basic things about the Java language, about inherited stuff and all. I just covered my point about Java virtual machine. And then, I will throw some light on this point as well. And then some data structures and the core libraries of Java, right? That's what we will be doing.